Mwakwa baba Adkwart Studio nyame onhira se onyamretie na hwe Adkwart Studio. Ya de nyankopon ase ba bia Awurade ade wa bedro. Ema were free Awurade ne ne yapanyina. Ye. Kasa yade a ehia pa yie. Kasa nipa bia no yesi obi nimdini ana nimdifo ne fa kase na gina okasa so na me ka sem we magana nso ya hwe ho so yie fi se ye ade ne magidi di agrododo sesei Sam George na sem bi okaka hwe ade pa bi a oye nanso asem kitua bi mama ne jese o comedian no so anya asem kitua kra nya asem kitua kra na wo ka ade ne o ka Bible no aka nsem bi wo hodomo a wo se nipa bibre bia no utie asem we si na wo hwe ne ye mebusa metire aduonu nsia nyimu enan ne enum no osi emua okasia na jimisem so na wonso wanyese ono so ati obanum no a oba enyimu a etoso enum no a osi bia okasia na jimisem so na wanye na ni so nyansafo ne bia do no Answer not a fool according to his folly, lest that also be like unto him. 5. Answer a fool according to his folly, lest he be wise in his own concept. I'm giving you food for thought. And the question ni yansha kwanya faso ekasa. Na ohwe abrantie ya Sam George eton safre no ya. Se abrantie amfa video a ode ba bontin am senka dodo kra nim abrantie no. Na yini ba bontin no. Ewiase nyina ehwehwe abrantie. Se nimdia owo nya asem kitu akra. Na ohwe ne nipedua no a sebi oye krokrowa enso niema ewo abrantie no mu no nya asem kitwa na I don't think say oye video no say odipe entreha na so odipe din oye kire na dwuma oye ana e kasa kire amanfo ti ansan ye beko Sam George asem no ye ninkan kohwe abrantie no sedi osi eye ni nyuma fa ye ninkan konkohwe.
Hello guys, good morning. We are back to shop trying to get some devices fixed, and the first phone for today is an iPhone XX Max. This phone I received from another technician. Initially they tried to fix a fault and now the phone won't boot up and it won't even charge. But because they were already working on it, they had already separated the motherboard. As I said earlier in my previous videos, the motherboard of most of our newer phones comes in a sandwich form, like two boards combined to work like one board. So this board, because technician tried to fix, he has already separated it. And looking from the motherboard, he tried to change some components. You can see this place with bulged parts. And most of these things are the reason why the phone is not working. And I can see some ripped off parts. This is as a cause of the phone being fallen or someone trying to use heavy force to separate the motherboard. So with devices like these, the only solution is for me to do direct CPU transplant onto a known good motherboard. So I'm going to transfer the hard drive of the phone, that is the NAND, and the CPU, that is this, and the CPU of the phone onto a known good working motherboard. This is a motherboard, a spare motherboard that I have, and I'm going to transfer the most important chips from the customer's motherboard onto this new motherboard, and everything should boot up and work perfectly. So the next step is me removing the glue from the CPU area so that I can safely remove the CPU without damaging it. This is a process that requires massive skill and training to be able to work on devices like these. It requires a lot of time and patience. I need to remove the glue from the CPU area and from the hard drive area. Apple placed this glue on the CPU and the hard drive to protect it from being ripped apart in case there is a massive fall. You cannot lift the CPU without having to remove this glue. And that is the hard drive. Removing the glue, protecting the hard drive, so you can have direct access to lift the hard drive. This is the step where I use my hot air gun with the biggest nozzle to try and remove the CPU. I mean, lifting the CPU off the dead motherboard. One wrong move here and everything is just finished. Lifting the CPU is the part of the job that requires the greatest skill, and that is the CPU. So I need to remove the hard drive also from the board. And the hard drive also comes off. So here is side-by-side picture of the CPU, the hard drive and the old motherboard. So I just have to clean the CPU. Once you lift up the CPU, it comes with solder balls from the old motherboard, so you need to clean it off and just try and reball it. So now I'm reballing the CPU so it can fit on the new motherboard. And that is it, reballing the CPU, creating new balls for the CPU so it can be soldered on the new motherboard. And that is a reballed CPU. That is a perfectly reballed CPU in very good shape. And this is the hard drive, trying to create new balls for the hard drive also, so that it can also be perfectly soldered onto the new board. The metal sheet you see me constantly using is called a reball stencil. And that is some healthy solder balls. And over here is the new Reballing CPU and the hard drive from the customer's motherboard. And that is the old motherboard. So we are about to transfer these two chips onto a new motherboard. Okay, so this right here is a motherboard that I have prepared. I have taken off the hard drive and the CPU, and it's ready to receive the old CPU from the customer's phone and its hard drive. This motherboard is in good shape, and once I install these two new chips, it should make the phone work. So I'm going to install them on the motherboard, and it should boot up just fine. Alright, so this step is me installing the hard drive and the CPU from the customer's dead motherboard onto a new motherboard. That is the hard drive installed on the motherboard. So we will move on to installing the CPU also on the motherboard. Installing the CPU also on the new motherboard. Alright, so I have the hard drive installed and the CPU installed on the new motherboard. This is the old motherboard. Let's see a side-by-side comparison so we can confirm. This is the old motherboard with the ripped off parts. You see, I've taken the hard drive out. So this is the new motherboard carrying the known good CPU and the hard drive. So let's test if everything works perfectly. And now that is it, phone finally working perfectly. Everything working as it should. And I call this a successful fix. This is the dead motherboard. And this is the new motherboard. And customer is going to have their information in perfect condition, no data lost. So let's test again to confirm. I'm going to cover up the face because I cannot show.
Abranti na adwuma pa oyeye ene video de ba bonten enema ubia no ani agi abranti ho na onya kwalasa but ne hu na efe wa wo hwe senia ositie no a ye na oye we no ena Sam George as a minister ohunu ti odi anigye atun safra branch anka minister bia de pa sese oye no because Ghana yewo nipa no bia nyame among aduma chedie sronko Ghana yo man ya nyame ahira yan na minister wa fra branch ana ofre no onim so oya santini ana na yankoko tie the minister no so ofre ya sisi ama na dipa oye no eso ya kata.
Is this a kid or a grown up? And what beats me is I said I want to invite him. So I called myself, I said, buy him a ticket from Kumasi, let him come down. I want to ask him, is he an Ashanti? Because I didn't hear an R or L. Watchman, this is nice to you a lot. It's an honor to meet you. Please come into my office. But you know him, right? That's Umar Osanda City, Eyewitness News.
In fact, now that I'm here, he should be on upside down with Freeman. I will make that arrangement.
Yeah, I mean, no,
are you a child or an adult?
I'm an adult.
How old?
He's 27.
I'm about 27 years old.
Are you for real? That's the age I got married. I hope you're married. Please tell me you're married. Wow, jeez. No, when you finish with him, I'll make an arrangement for you.
No, sure.
You'll be on TV, prepare.
Thank you.
You're welcome. God bless you. But I don't use iPhones. I'm not reading that way. Thank you.
Miss Miko can be here na RNA L na R. Here say what you kind of Brit so be a Britain na or British no kasa brofukro no obi a Canadian obi free USA brofukro na o kan and so on tese obi de sire obi na Britain ni nka wara wamo pronounce said ye kan ye water America ni so be kan wara America for emoti maybe ko hon mo na nya brofo no kra na abrofo no fence wo but wa won krofo no a eye Ghana for no mo tu kwan na omo de omo si omo kasa te se Britain for no America for no hwe we ya kroboni ti se obi fa krobo me no ashama na minyini ye wo kasa bi o hodomo a na ya district krobo for na onyini na adwuma se baba hye won sa na wayi nkwala asem afiri wa brabo mu Sam George da wayi nkwala asem kura wayi nkwala asem afiri wa brabo mu hwe adepa wo ye yo wasem kakra wo kan no eya kato adepa ni nyina so on se obi ani hon ma ode insabon kumchira ne papa ayo fum kwan enti se o kasa ho se eye won kasa ho na o di for bet o bo mantambi tio ya na muni o bo mantambi na o de ye kasa wodi di mo mpanimfo mu ahemfo enti o tio enti na meka quotation ne mienu no I also must be very careful. Sam George ujiri ye say asantini bi ante brofons no ojiri asantini bi ante brofons no na adan na brofo na nye kasa no ye de sire ye ho ma abibifo ya mane nyina ni o na ade na nye kasa no hwe esremuni not na ka brofo te said die one na say wa aye ne masters uhuru ye say o sando say not na obi a volunteer obi free voter region na o kasa uhu ne ton nation no hu ye say ha no free yan fansere na o kan with the form to so mo kan ekra na man sere a enko be hu say oh wo make hu sunsun ya da bi asante for say de o msi e kasa ne ade with the form to as a minister munyini o munyini na enkwala chese agro o mani so dodo agro o mani so hwe adepa wa ye wa kra no se wo ma brantie yi wutwa pre na yi and ma hwe wo de ko media no so na ko ye se pre na yi na wutwa ye no enkrofo kanfo a we are corner kokoti next time no oh kasa no I very careful because unya minister ma danko unya minister ma the whole nation and the year say emfa will be there be modi nkwala agrododo a minister okra so say Christiani we are Christiani ma minka a minister because we are minister there we know say so but maminka baby nchira from assembly na yanhwe say we are building a nation oman na yesi o oman na yesi ti yenjai sa agudie ne so bu enkrofo bi animtia me ka brofo na mtia me mfa ho ba kokra cause anya me kasa and I me catch you no can me destiny esne kasa bia because eno na me ntie dia ene nanka ma you bi a me mobo say twi no and I me ntie a to me twi papa benti krobo twi Sami kam twi na mitindi a ma hu se ana ma ka chi enkrofo bi kasa na ya desire ho ma hu ya ye mobro enkrofo bi kasa na obi kana se na no ate wo brofo kasa ma se wa ben me na me ka se enti asantini akotena boliga na wo sua frafra kasa no di buba na wo ya nyansani abi I don't think more nyansani da what the fact is what tibrofo na ka brofo de say aku I say woni nyansa na all this say asante for arene yentumi mo okay tie me po asempa o ayi ba ko a oyi ya emre bi wo de come me na koti bi kan sesa wo gina say president ameto abama but wo mo madwa lie do galamse ho ne oniema bi hod mo say wo no na uhuru kwa tiayi Malachi chapter 2 verse 7 as a minister the priest lips should keep knowledge, and they should seek law at his mouth, for he is the messenger of the Lord of hosts. Obi a oye minister no ese wa no kura nimdie ni agro sa o da bi munyini ya de a momfa nyuma ngo so mo hwe na wo ye nkwala because nkwala na some judge omudi sa nkwala agro no me yiri say one no de wate ewo media. Next time you be very careful. Be very 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 careful. Because you see I'm a TSC na as a software, a man of God. Na me fa tribe be say me di on ho fe wo a. Ochina metumi akwa kogina won anim say me kanya say nyame asema kire wo. There be wanya de kra sa bra bontin. Because parliament a wo ho no no. Ana Ashanti region. You are being for as a babrofo na wo wadwen say Asantefo ekam go bibi mo no ma me fensia na hweye na medi wachi a me nso mepa na hweye a me nso mepa because sa ne mana na mo ye na me busa say are we building a nation? Party bi ba na was sorry na the other party no just ono amo ko den at the corona party ni ye no ono so ensa katumi a the same thing enti emma on my Ghana no enti obekọ ba bia no na onye the chrome ni on free ba bia ono free a na wo amane say ya build o minor sa ne ma ne bemu ayanku animu enti Sam George sabra bontin no wade pa wo ye no emfa sa concert ye we emese wade pa onyame on shine ne build Ghana say o my back bye bye.